ZeP98, President Putin, inside the world mastermind. For centuries, power was measured in tanks, missiles, and oil. But now, Moscow speaks a different language. Data centers, nuclear reactors, sovereign algorithms in front of Russia's tech elite. President Vladimir Putin doesn't just talk about AI, he redraws the map of power and defines who survives in a world ruled by code. At Sber's headquarters, before engineers, ministers, researchers, and delegations from dozens of countries, Putin speaks about something that will matter long after today's war's end. Who will control the minds of the machines that will organize human life? He begins simply. Generative AI is no longer novelty. It is a strategic infrastructure, and whoever owns it owns the future. Large language models trained on oceans of data are becoming agents and robots able to make decisions without human approval. Those who master these systems early gained a silent advantage. Those who depend on foreign models risk losing sovereignty in ways they won't notice until it's too late. Here, Putin reveals the core of Russia's AI doctrine. AI is now a matter of state, technological, and value sovereignty. Foreign models are trained abroad, hosted abroad, and infused with foreign political and cultural biases. Depending on them is a strategic mistake Russia cannot allow. So the Kremlin's position is clear. Russia must have its own fundamental language models, sector-specific models, training pipelines, compute, and evaluation systems entirely controlled on Russian soil from start to finish. Not as a luxury, but as a national survival requirement. Putin shifts from software to the foundation beneath it, electricity. Worldwide, AI demands are exploding. By the end of this decade, data center electricity consumption will triple. AI is becoming a creature that eats power as fast as nations can generate it. Whoever can feed these machines reliably, cheaply, continuously, will hold the real advantage. And here Russia plays its strongest card. Russia is not an energy giant. It is a nuclear civilization. The only major power already building and operating small modular nuclear reactors. The perfect energy source for AI clusters that must run 24/7 with millisecond stability. Coal can feed giant clusters. Hydro can support regions, but near the AI engines that require instant response. Russia can place a small nuclear plant that no other nation at scale can currently deploy. This is not technical. This is geopolitical. While Silicon Valley talks about prompts, Moscow talks about reactors for algorithms. Putin then raises a concern rarely addressed by Western leaders. He fears a future where a small intellectual elite learns how to use AI deeply, while the rest of society presses buttons and waits for answers. He points at students who let AI solve every assignment, at young people who no longer see the point of learning languages because translation is instant and perfect. Learning a language, he argues, is not just communication, it is entering another culture, reading Tolstoy in the original, feeling nuance, understanding another soul. Lose that effort and you lose civilization. AI must amplify thinking, not anesthetize it. Russia, he says, cannot allow a two-tier society of super thinkers and button pressers. That would be a strategy collapse, as serious as losing territory. But Russia is not preparing to stand alone. It is building an international AI architecture. More than 20 countries, BRICS, Eurasia, Africa, Latin America, have joined the International AI Alliance chaired by Russia. They are not just sharing ideas, they are discussing harmonized AI legislation, joint research projects, shared infrastructure, sovereign models independent of the West. In the future, BRICS is no longer about oil or currency swaps. It becomes a coalition of civilization, building their own algorithm based on their own values. Inside Russia, Putin calls for a shift that sounds like a digital mobilization. He demands a national plan to integrate generative AI across all industries, regions, ministries, and public services. AI must be embedded in bureaucracy, management, healthcare, transport, and public administration. AI adoption rate will become a key metric in the nation's digital ranking. He warns against over-regulation. Some countries killed innovation by drowning it in rules. Russia must not repeat that mistake. But for security and state institute, Russia must rely exclusively on its own core technologies. Sber and Yandex present their flagship models, a humanoid robot, and a plan to open source major Russian AI systems with full weights. At the same time, Sber reveals that multi-agent AI is already being used internally to analyze workflows and close inefficient projects, cutting up to 20% off certain staff positions. Putin responds sharply, "There are no ineffective employees, only employees who managers failed to work with them properly. AI can save resources, but cannot excuse bad leadership." The real conflict is not who builds intelligence, but who decides what that intelligence believes. And this is the ZeP98Eng Show. In case we don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.